Hello everybody, welcome to this class. This is the English class of 10th standard. Today we are going to discuss about the second lesson, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. So this is the lesson which will give you the complete picture of freedom fighters of South Africa. So Nelson Mandela is also co-freedom fighter of Mahatma Gandhi ji. Mahatma Gandhi ji was also lived for some time in South Africa. He worked as a lawyer in South Africa, and he also faces discrimination by color. So that is why Gandhiji also fights. Gandhiji also fought in South Africa against white members who did apartheid, who did discrimination to the black people and uh, white people who suppressed the black people. So this will give you the complete picture of the system called apartheid. Apartheid means here discrimination of people by their race. Race means it's a caste, creed, religion. Okay, apartheid means discrimination, separation of people by their race, by their color. Example: black, white. So etc. So this is called as a apartheid. Okay, so let us we move on the lesson. Before we going to the lesson, let us we discuss the introduction part of this lesson. Okay, apartheid is a political system that separates people according to their race. Apartheid is a system where people people separated by their race, by their color, white, black, etc. So this is called as another word for this is discrimination of people. Discrimination of people by their race and uh, religion and race. Okay, so can you say which of the three countries named below had such a political system until very recently? So can you say which of the three countries named below had such a political system until very recently? The first one, United States of America; second one, South Africa; third one, Australia. So in these countries, in South Africa, in United States of America, apartheid system was there, but now it is gone completely. Uh, Having said that, also there are some places were there. Apartheid is still there. It has to go because apartheid is a system. People, people were killed. People were killed. Over thousands, over a million thousands of people killed by this system. This has to go. Okay, so it's United States of America and South Africa. In these countries, there is a little bit of apartheid system is there. Apartheid or apartheid. Okay, yes. Have you heard Nelson Mandela? Mandela and his African National Congress. So Nelson Mandela belongs to African National Congress Party. Spent a lifetime fighting against apartheid. So he was a freedom fighter who struggled against apartheid, discrimination of people by their race. He struggled very much for a long time. He struggled. He struggled to stop the apartheid system. Yes, Mandela had to spend 30 years in prison. So he had spent in prison 30 years. So not 1 year, not 2 year, 30 years. It's a very tough to talk also. So he had spent his half his 25% of time he spent he spent in jail. He spent in prison. Finally, democratic elections were held in 1994. Elections held in 1994. Democracy means administration system ruled by representative of peoples. In any way, peoples or sovereignty. Peoples have sovereignty in democracy. People have right to ask the government to administration and to live rightfully. So these are the stuffs were there. The elections were held, and Mandela became the first black president of a new nation. So it is the story of a man who who selected in a place where country ruled by a person. It's called as a PM, president, not a PM, president, black president, first black president. Until until 1994, South Africa ruled by the white members only. 3 centuries ago, 300 years ago, South Africa ruled by white members. There are a lot of discrimination happens to people of South Africa. A lot of black people killed over hundreds and thousands of millions. Okay, this is the system. And in 1994, it got independence from apartheid, and it's wonderful for them. It is extract from his autobiography. It is the lesson took by his autobiography, Long Walk to Freedom. Okay, Mandela speaks about a historic occasion. He speaks about a historic event, the inauguration. It is the part of inauguration. Inauguration means beginning event of a function or a program. Okay, so when he became president, it was inauguration function. He has to pledge, and some party members also warned. Party members also had to pledge. So this is the story of a inauguration story. Okay, yes, this is the story which give you the complete picture of inauguration function. Can you guess what the caution might be? What is the functions might be? Check your guess with news items of 10th May 1994. It is the story which will give you the complete picture of inauguration function of the president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Yes. So let us we move on the a little bit information about the Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela has become South Africa's first black president after more than 3 centuries ago uh, of white rule. Okay, having said that, 3 centuries ago of white rule. So South Africa ruled by white members 3 centuries ago. Mr. Mandela's African National Congress Party won 252 of the 400 seats in the first democratic elections of South Africa's history. So until 1994, uh, after the white rule, democratic elections were held. In that democratic elections, Mandela's African National Congress got 252 seats out of 400 seats. Okay, in inauguration ceremony took place in the Union Buildings Amphitheater in Pretoria today. Amphitheater means open theater. It's a open theater, big place, open theater. There are millions of people were gathered there. So this is placed called as a amphitheater in Pretoria. Pretoria is a place. It is the capital city of South Africa. Okay, attended by politicians and dignitaries from more than 140 countries around the world. Never, never again will this beautiful land experience the apparition of one by another, said Nelson Mandela in his address. Jubilant scenes means happy moments of this function on the streets of Pretoria followed the ceremony with blacks, whites, coloreds celebrating together. More than 100,000 South African men, women, and children of all races sang and danced with joy. So, in the inauguration function, where begin it is the function of all the members of South Africa who were white, who were red, who were black, who were brown, without colored. It's all colored members, all religions member who were gathered there, and also the very jubilant scenes were there. How this inauguration function happened? Let us we know about this inauguration function in this lesson. Okay, yes. 10th May dawned bright and clear. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. So he says, it is the 10th May in 1994, dawned. Dawned means sunrise, day began. When day began, it's very bright and clear. For the past few days, a few days ago, he had been, Mandela had been pleasantly besieged by means surrounded by dignitaries. It means dignitaries means reputed person of world countries, world leaders were that it means the Mandela besieged by world leaders as ever been seen, who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. So all of the world leaders came to inauguration function before some time their respects to inauguration function will be there. So Mandela explains this. The inauguration would be the largest gathering over of international leaders on South African soil. In the South African soil, this is the largest function of all the world leaders came here and who respects this country very well. And also this is the largest gathering ever international leaders on South African soil. Okay, yes. In the second, let's we move to the second para. The ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheater formed by the Union buildings in Pretoria. For decades this had been the seat of white supremacy, and now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non-racial government. So the ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone. This inauguration wonderful program set in the amphitheater, in the open theater where hundred thousands of people gathered, and lovely sandstone was there. Lovely sandstone means it is the type of a wonderful colored amphitheater is there. Amphitheater means it is the building, it is the open theater building where hundred thousands, it means 1 lakhs together people were gathered. Okay, yes. In amphitheater formed by union buildings. So it is the function where Union buildings in Pretoria was there. Okay, Pretoria is the capital of South Africa. Okay, so for decades, for decades or decades means it's a 10-year time period of a 10-year time called as a decades or decades. For decades, this had been the seat of a white supremacy. This amphitheater of sandstone, some decades ago, this is the seat of white members only. White supremacy was held in sandstone of amphitheater, but now white supremacy moved. The white supremacy is over. Then now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of a different colors. Rainbow gathering means all colored people were there. Not only white, all colored, black, white, red, also some colored people were gathering here. Rainbow means here all colored people. Rainbow means all colored people gather there, and it's a wonderful function, he says. uh, Different colors and nations, different colors and different nations, different of nations were there, and different peoples were there, different nations peoples were there, and also different colors of people were there. uh, and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic. It is the first installation of democratic. Until 1994, the white supremacy ruled South Africa very badly, but this is the first installation of uh, South Africa's first democratic. Democratic means ruled by people, ruled by representative of people. Representative of people means people. People themselves ruled the country. It's called as a democratic. Okay, yes, non-racial government. There is no discrimination according to their race, their religion, and some etc. There is no discrimination. There is only non-racial government. All the human beings are same, equal. This is called as a non-racial government. Yes. Autumn means the season when the leaves fall from the trees. This is called as autumn. This is something. This is somewhere December, November time. Okay, this is called as autumn time. In autumn, lovely autumn means it's a very cool place. That is why he says that lovely autumn day. I was accompanied by my daughter Zanani. He Nelson Mandela also accompanied by his daughter Zanani. His daughter name is Zanani. Okay, on the podium. She was on the podium. Okay, where people used to talk. Mr. D. Clerk was first sworn in as second deputy president. So is the person, is the leader was there. His name was Mr. D. Clerk. Was first sworn in as a second deputy president. He sworn. He take his pledge. He take his sword as second deputy president. Second deputy president, and Tambo Beki was sworn in as a first deputy president. So second deputy president was a clerk, Mr. D. Clerk, and first deputy president Thabo Beki, and second deputy president Mr. D. Clerk. So those of them were sworn as a deputy president. When it was my turn, it was time of Nelson Mandela, I pledge to obey and uphold the Constitution and to devote myself to the well-being of the Republic and its people to the assembled guests and the watching world, I said. So when it is time of Nelson Mandela, he pledged to obey and uphold the constitution. So leaders have to uphold the constitution. Okay, constitution means it is the book, it is the book which uh, the which book constitution means rules given by the government to rule the nation, isn't it? Yes. So he devote myself to the well-being of the republic and its people, to the assembled guests. So he pledged to obey and uphold the constitution and devote myself to the well-being of the republic and its people, his people's nation. To the assembled guests, who were assembled guests were there and watching world. So world was watching this function, and he said what he said. Today, all of us do, by our presence here, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long. Must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. So today, all of us do, by our presence here, we are presence here, confer glory and hope newborn liberty. This is a newborn liberty. Until now, until 1994, we suffered by white members suppression, white members oppression and exploitation. We came out from this disaster. That is why he said that confer means here give. We have given a newborn liberty. Newborn liberty means it's a freedom. Liberty means it's a freedom. Out of the experience, an extraordinary human disaster. This is white supremacy is a human disaster. In white members rule, there are thousands of people were killed. Okay, this is called as a human disaster. So we came out, we get rid out of this we got rid out of this, and lasted too long. It lasted too long. Must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud. This is the system. This is the democratic system where all the people will be proud. All the humanity will be proud. Okay, democracy means all the people have same right, same opportunities to enhance their life quality. But in white rulers, they only remained their status only. They didn't give the rights to people, to the black people, and they exploits to the black members. So we came out from this, and it is the function, it is the government where all the humanity will be proud. He says, we who were outlaws not so long ago have today been given the rare privilege to be host to the nations of the world on our own soil. We thank all of our distinguished international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. So he says here wonderfully, we who are outlaws means, uh, because of its political of apartheid, because of the discrimination of people. This is the country. All the other countries broke broke their diplomacy relations with South Africa. This is called as a, he says that who are outlaws. Who are outlaws means it is the separate country. It is the separate country where white supremacy got wonderful opportunity. This is the bad. This is the bad and not so long. Have today, have today. So these South African people have today the rare privilege. It is the rare privilege. It is the rare privilege to be host to the nations of the world on our own soil. So before the 1994, all the other countries were not includes the South Africa's nation where supremacy was there. But now it is the democratic country, it is the democracy nation. Now all the nations were came here. That is why he called rare privilege. Rare privilege, it is the rare opportunity for all the country all the countries to be host here, to be host to the nations of the world on our soil. Our soil mean our own soil means South African soil. He says that in South African soil, this is the first time of ever all the other countries came here to attend the inauguration functions of him. Yes, we thank all of our distinguished international guests. He thanked all of the international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country of what is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity. So he says he says thanking for all the international guests to involve this function with their peoples, with the people of South Africa. For this act of the leaders of the world, he thankful. Okay, he thankful to all of the international guests. And after all, this is a common victory. This is a common, he told that it is the common victory of justice. It is the common victory of justice. It is not only the it is not only individual justice. This is the justice. It is the victory of justice. It is not only individual victory. This is the victory of justice. Also for peace, it is the victory of peace. It is the victory of justice. Also human dignity, it is the victory for justice, peace, and human dignity. Where human dignity is there, all the people will get same opportunities and same abilities. But where white supremacy was there, all the people exploited in such a way that people were not getting the same opportunities. There is only suppression to the people. Okay, so in this situation, in this inauguration function, this is the democratic function. Nelson Mandela was thankful about the all the international members who were coming and involved the inauguration function with the people of South Africa. He said thanks. He said thanks to all of the international guests. Okay, we have at last achieved our political emancipation. We have at last, totally, we have achieved our political emancipation. Emancipation means freedom from restriction. If there is restriction, you can't do anything. If there is a freedom from restriction, it is the fantastic opportunity to anything. Okay, so he says that at last finally we got emancipation, political emancipation, political freedom. We got the political freedom We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination. So we have at last we achieved the political emancipation, and we pledge ourselves to liberate all the people from the continuing bondages of poverty. Poverty means poor persons were there. That is what is a poverty. Okay. Poverty, deprivation means state of extreme poverty. People were lived in the situation where food is not available, and where fundamental fundamental faculties are not available. This is called as a poverty. And also deprivation. People, until 1994, people suffered by their deprivation, by their poverty. But here we pledged we pledged we have to liberate we have liberate to all people from this poverty and deprivation, suffering suffering of the people. Gender, there is no gender discrimination, there is no racial discrimination, also other discrimination. People, we pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from these things. Okay. Yes. Never and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. Never again people were not getting the discrimination one by another. Yes. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Okay. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. This becomes the freedom reign. Reign means reign means it is the land. It is the land of administration. It is the land of administration. All the people got freedom. And God bless Africa. He says that God bless Africa. Okay. Yes. This is all about the today's class. The remaining part of the lesson we will discuss in the next class. So please ask your doubts to me. If you don't ask the doubts, you can't understand it clearly. Ask the question, understand the lesson very clearly,